Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, dividing, and amazing, spectacular Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, the one, the only master propaganda, defender of the fatherland, off here to a 1v1 own. Crossing in the woods to the north, it is Baoliang fighting for the Red Army, the Soviet Union. Comrade Stalin here with the 12th Tank Corps with tank hunter tactics, Soviet Industry, and Lend-Lease tactics with double infantry mines versus south. It is Angreifen with Spearhead, featuring mortar half-tanks, Panther tactician, reconnaissance overflight, but I'll just say renaissance overflight, which makes no sense. Fragmentation bomb and tiger tank with all infantry bulletins there. And as always, a big hearty thanks to my patron supporters, these champions, these heroes of the Propagandacast to keep in the business. You too can join their illustrious ranks by pledging on Patreon, or you can also donate via PayPal, links in the description. And comment, like, share, subscribe, press the bell button. So we're off to the races here, of course, by now. You know, the big announcement is very much out. We are finally moving on to a new stage of Company Heroes. Huzzah! Of course, I haven't video up now, but by now, obviously, also talking about that and you hopefully showing off some gameplay of that. So, not much point here. But again, I will be, casting Company soon, for as long as it makes sense. But the long-term plan is to, switch to Companies 3 fully. Less awful Brits there. Anyways. We got triple constant build here for Baoliang. Folks, of course, getting a lot of infantry to smash the Germans apart here. Angreifen with the more standard gun of the MD42 build as well there, which is more focused on grabbing points, holding up the vital ones, shooting down the Soviets, and, slowly winning ahead there, or at least pushing it aggressively. So we'll have to see what goes there. I mean, with Spearhead, there's obviously a tiger tank there. Angreifen, a player who really likes big tanks. We'll tend to go for tiger tanks or Panthers if we can get away with it. We'll have to see actually goes for the mortar half-track, though. As for Baoliang, there's certainly a few options there, though, considering this sort of build order for now. I'd say more likely seeing either Lend-Lease or Soviet Industry. He could, of course, go tank hunter tactics, but that one is a bit rarer. You need to bring about here for Baoliang. Imagine we'll be seeing some medics soon from him. Back at base there for Angreifen. Not sure I've got to kind of this surrounding the construction about the building here. They are buying time here for Baoliang to either assault the gunners, push them back, or you just do stuff elsewhere here against Angreifen. They have the options here. So far, though, he's just using to sort of try and bleed Angreifen dry here. Not a bad idea at all. Their conscripts overwhelming the Grenadiers now with sheer numbers. Down to 3 men already. They will have to retreat soon. Third Grenadiers one there for Angreifen. Typically don't like the ammo when I get stuck up in a building like this. Like, you're not really sort of the faction that wants to, like, grind out and attacking into buildings as the Germans. You're more likely to, like, try and play around it and, find a better terrain to engage in. So I feel like he should try and move towards the centre of the west here instead of trying to push up here into the building. Countering westwards there, falling back here. So he could threat rush into the building, but another squad nearby that could block such a move. But triple Grenadiers and MD42 that can be tech after that. We got 4 counters here for Baoliang. North here, a bit of skirmish going on here. Machinery up to support the Pioneers. Card one hit there. Good disruptive play by Baoliang. Cuts off unguarded resource flow there, and of course gives them a bit of a slight advantage there, depending how long it can hold. But with that many Germans about, with that many rifles, there are limits how long you can actually hold out there sensibly. The units flanking back, no flank for us, so Pioneers being rushed in to cover against such a socialist maneuver here. Field hospital ready for Baoliang, giving some medics out to his troops to heal up. Engineers push back there. But so far, most of the map there is very much Soviet. Baoliang there, of course, to start. We get a man here as well then. Most of this going to start yet, but I fear Heinz there and Friedrich won't be as lucky. And there you go, 2 men down. Grenadiers pushing forward here, comes on the 5 MD42. Back here, troops reinforcing. We've got a 4th Grenadier squad here for Angreifen. Both sides actually committing pretty heavily on infantry. Pretty heavy on infantry. Interesting choice there. Counter flanking up behind the Pioneers there. March was out there, obviously. In this case, a bit too late, though. Just a tiny bit too late. Going for the company, of course, Angreifen home to repeat what Baoliang did to him, but Baoliang already got troops there blocking off such a maneuver. We also got the support company out there for Baoliang, providing him with support weapons. Most likely a field gun, but Maxims and mortars are also, possibilities. But most other players will always go for at least 1 field gun, maybe even 2. Full retreat here, constantly them moving about. Didn't get the carp on there. At least, actually, he might have been able to do it here, but he still has to retreat there. Can't maintain it for long either. No tech yet there for Angreifen. Can consider doing so, but at the same time, some of these troops are bled out. They also want to stall, but nope, he does tech. We'll like to push for an armoured car here versus Baoliang, the 222. Baoliang wisely leveraging his engagements here to go for the fuel pond there, pushing right past Angreifen's front line here. Thumbs up to Baoliang, very good read down the situation. So the Angreifen then has to like swiftly move troops to the west point. He's like making a hard push on the eastern fuel point here. Or risk Baoliang getting a lot of fuel here and could thus drown Angreifen beneath a tide of tanks, which would be quite uncomfortable for him. So take almost down there, Grenadiers reinforcing. Continue skirmishing around here as Baoliang setting up 2 Grenadiers for the single conscript and heavy cover. They will obviously lose, but the question in this case, how long will it take before they lose? And we can just keep a lot more infantry occupied here, while then does a lot of stuff with this infantry elsewhere could work out quite well. And well, that just changed the engagement more in favour of Baoliang. Now it's just one squad versus the other. The Grenadiers do have the advantage at long range, but it's not a huge one, plus the conscript heavy cover, so their advantage actually becomes significantly less since they are in light cover themselves. So there you go, pushing for the eastern fuel point, resuming westwards there. Grenadiers bring to assist. A lot of engagement. We also finally get some light machine guns on the way there. Pioneers and engineers here by the eastern fuel point. The LMG-42. Standard machine gun in the German army by 1944-45. They're not most produced, despite being easy to make than MG-34. German industry still struggled to produce them, and they also still produce an MG-34, so the MG-34 actually ended up being the most produced machine gun in the German army by the end of the war because they had a big head start on them. Conscript charging the Grenadiers. Better damage being done there. We got Grenadiers versus the conscript, then we got push up the eastern side here. So far Angreifen continues to struggle with against Baoliang, who continues to sort of try and play around corners here with the Angreifen. Sneak about and keep him guessing. Might go for some tech soon. And try and rush at a T-7 light tank here versus Angreifen. Point being system by the Grenadier in the west. Others moving forward with the LMG-42. The typical German Grenadiers Corps, which was composed of roughly 8 to 10 men, would have 1 light machine gun in it. With 1, shall we say, light machine gun team then, and 1 assault team, if you will, a fire team. Panther Grenadiers Corps, meanwhile, actually had 2 light machine guns for that many men. Grenadiers are being overwhelmed, but the conscript need to retreat soon. Conscript going up there. So we'll see how many light machine guns he gets going here. I mean, he could upgrade his men now with 2 light machine guns, but he's also probably going to stay up for the bunker. Wipe there. Great kill here for Baoliang. Gives him the infantry advantage for now. Imagine Angreifen could also push for a flame for a half-track as opposed to trying to burn his way here through Baoliang's infantry. Flame for half-tracks have been seeing a slight resurgence in popularity as of late, though the armoured car still remains most popular. Machine gun needs to retreat too low and healthy, definitely a bad spot to be set up in. And losing a heavy machine gun team on top of a Grenadiers Corps there would be, I think, pretty devastating for Angreifen. East side, they want to push for these on fuel pump march was being pushed in there. And there you go, Baoliang with a tech, the Tank V battalion command going up there for the Red Army. Can't go let that gun is moving in. Do get the armoured cars, so he is in fact focusing on light machine guns. No flame for half-techs here from Angreifen. He will also, of course, need a Pack 40 to help deal with the T-70, since the T-70 unopposed can do a lot of damage very fast to German infantry. Grab the centre victory point there. We got 487 versus 483, pretty close so far, and then direct move towards the western fuel point here. As the Grenadiers are trying to deal with the constant heavy cover. East side there, Pioneers making good progress. He could consider some sandbags here to make it more easily defensible. But there you go, armoured car. No T-70 yet. I mean, in theory here, Baoliang could also just try and rush ahead in tech, like go for a fast medium tank here versus Angreifen. Bit rarer, but could happen. It could happen. If he's doing that, I would probably expect Lend-Lease, since in which case, of course, we'll be rushing out the M4C Sherman. Armored car pushing westwards against the conscripts. Machine setting up as well there. The conscript out in the open, of course, easy targets here, and there it goes, suppressed. In a bad spot, force retreat here as Angreifen forces tear into them with violent glee. And yup, that does in fact look like a tech. We just noticed a notable resource drop here. And no T-70 light tanks, so putting 2 and 2 together, he is going to rush for some medium armour. So again, could be T-34s and 6, but could also be Lend-Lease tactics and the M4C Sherman. Going for the 6th Division field gun. Part artillery piece, but of course also just a good tool here versus enemy armour and vehicles. So, very sensible choice there. Very standard choice. We've got flare mines here in the east by the fuel point there. Constant rad, we got going to want the retreat path. The also going for the carve point. Making our summer company almost on there for Baoliang. Quite the rush, and of course one does wonder if he's planning the Indies or again the T-34-6. If it does go for the lead, probably you can also set up one supply truck to get him more fuel, and that will push out tanks faster. So there are some considerations there. There's the car point there, they almost got it. Fully German in the southeast, another push forwards. Armour car this time assisting, and this time around Baoliang just can't hold for very long, opening up the path to the fuel pump more directly. Got the car point as well here. Good disruptive push by Angreifen leaves Baoliang's forces in a bit of disarray. Field gun nearby, ready to bombard anyone or just shoot at them. Getting some extra kills down the retreating counter squad. Not enough for a wipe though, I think. Bit of skirmishing here, but Angreifen now seizing most of the map here away from Baoliang. A strong push, needs to take out himself though. The faster he can get going, of course, the better as well. Unless, of course, you're Baoliang, in which case that would be terrible. Pioneers going for the field gun. Armored car there, harassing and bombarding troops with autocannon fire. Close fits one on that one. I particularly try and grab that car upon as well, but apparently not. Finish could try and move into assist here. There we go, cover gone. No take yet there. And nothing further going on in the base of Baoliang either, and still no doctrine here. We got guns engaging with the field and counter support there. Not going to try and bombard here, can understand that. Obviously could work out, but at the same time could also expose to a lot more light machine gun fire, in which case the crew's going to die, and Angreifen would probably get himself another anti-tank gun. Now they're going to use whatever Angreifen, sadly no use of Panther going to deal, and there we go, we do get the reconnaissance overflight ability here for Angreifen, quickly sussing out to put up to, of course spotting in this case the mechanized armor company, and Baoliang now going for the half track. Interesting choice here. Very interesting. Now that's definitely not usual build order. Oh, he cancels it. He cancels it. Perhaps Angreifen or Baoliang is a bit unsure to what to do here. Not impossible. We shall see what he ends up doing, but for now, Angreifen running hard pressure here. Baoliang's going for some fuel point there, that way avoiding the main force of Angreifen. Thumbs up to Baoliang. There we go, incendium up his rounds. Pretty exposed position, of course, does a ton of damage here, so it might work out. At the same time, there's a good chance to lose the machine gun, in which case, of course, Baoliang could grab it, turn against Angreifen. West side here going to be light machine to the conscript. In fact, we've got 4 squads now upgraded. Heavy machine crew there exterminated by Baoliang's infantry. Men dying in droves as Angreifen realizes he's managed to put himself in a pretty bad spot, and more importantly, he's effectively handed over the heavy machine team now, and a light machine gun to Baoliang. Holy smokes, that is an absolute high save for Baoliang and the Red Army. Light machine guns and heavy machine guns. That is a significant boost here for Baoliang in terms of firepower versus Angreifen. That has got to be feel bad. No tech. Well, the tank has taken up into the Pommel Corps. As for Baoliang, we got more conscripts going for a 5th one. No sign of a doctrine yet, though. And he's actually gone for the mobilized reserves upgrade. Now that is definitely unusual. Even more unusual is he's yet to grab the machine gun or the light, well, any of the machine guns. There's a Pommel Corps there for Angreifen, very good. So at least he's not trying to start right away for a Tiger tank. And oh, you can't up. That's why I went for this new conscript squad, because you can't upgrade them or grab light machines up to 7-man by the way. Of course, I should have remembered that, but he's so rare to see something like that. So there you go, got himself a light machine gun. I just need to grab the heavy machine gun, in which case Angreifen's going to have a fairly sore day. Of course, the Panther 4 might be able to turn things around in a pinch. He could also call in the mortar half deck for some artillery support versus Baoliang. Hitting up the Grenadiers, 20 kills, ace level. Grabbing me some fuel. Sandbags up, very nice. Bit of skirmish in the west here as Baoliang once more tries to push back Angreifen. In the centre, push forwards as well. Here we got the constant east being caught here and pushed back. So many light machines have Angreifen. They've asked him to spear a lot of firepower as Baoliang's infantry. But now, of course, Baoliang has light machine guns of his own. Back here, can't go for the Panther full soon. Still no sound of a doctrine for Baoliang on a plan. He can soon go for the. He can in fact go for the T-34-76 now, but of course, Cook Planning Release and the M40 Sherman. And there you go, finally grabbing the heavy machine gun team here, setting up. Very good there, thumbs up to Baoliang. Angreifen, of course, should eventually replace his heavy machine gun team, particularly this opponent with 5 conscript squads, one of them with a light machine gun. A heavy machine gun team will be, I think, quite crucial here for Angreifen. But now he can go for the Panther 4 and should. Definitely should not be veering on that particular account. And there we go. We get Soviet Industry from Baoliang. Now that's definitely not what I'm expecting here, and we do get the CIS-6 supply truck out here for him. Very rare sight, that one. And he's rushing it straight for the fuel pump. Thumbs up, allowing you to double the fuel income on that point from 7 to 14. Plus with other fuel, but that's going to be a lot of fuel then he's going to get here, at least for a brief while. He's even hit the cup on there. Thumbs up again, really good disruptive plane. There you go. Setting up the CIS-6 supply truck. Ground lost and pointed with the Pioneer. So I'm guessing Baoliang is planning to actually just rush for the KV-2 now, using the CIS-6 truck there. Definitely a interesting maneuver. Air reconnaissance here from Angreifen again. Should of course be now more than aware of the CIS-6 truck, and of course being a big target here for any rate there from Angreifen. He's still not going for a Panther 4. Okay, he's now actually stalling for the Tiger tank by the looks of it. Both sides stalling for a big tank, though at least Angreifen, I suppose, in theory has to spawn, of course, sort of like an emergency, like, oh, scheisse, button to call in some armor, but definitely seems a bit ambitious there. And Baoliang is actually going for the half tank again now. Which does delay his CIS-6, or, you know, his KV-2, not his CIS-6. It does delay the KV-2, though, of course, he has the CIS-6 to compensate for it, I guess. 7.5 half tank almost done. I guess he just wants to keep the air recons in the way there. Makes sense, and there you go. And 5 half tank out there. Comes with the Grenadiers, and he's pushing forward, so there we go, heavy machine team plus the comes up there. Angreifen is definitely striking a lot more now. He has replaced the heavy machine gun team, which again will provide assistance, but him stalling for a Tiger tank is definitely conferring a lot of advantage, I think, here to Baoliang. And there you go, half tank moving forwards there. Machine gun team nearby almost wiped out, but still surviving the half tank quickly reinforcing. Of course, he may not even be planning the anti-aircraft mode, he could just be using it to reinforce and maintain a strong frontline presence, which is pretty good too. I mean, thumbs up to that if that's the plan. Armament car pack footage with the advancing conscripts, machine containing up here. Air reconnaissance from Mr. Angreifen again. Oh, he's now going to the quad mount, so I guess he just does want to pluck out the Luftwaffe from the skies there. Almost got the western fuel point again. He's just getting so much fuel. At this rate, he's going to be 2 minutes away there from a KV-2 heavy tank. Angreifen, meanwhile, is going to be a bit longer than that before he can hit a Tiger tank himself. Probably looking at closer to 4 minutes. Need to get his hands on those fuel points again. Half taking a nasty hit there. But did take out that aircraft pretty swiftly. And it almost hit the CIS-6 supply truck. Machine thing pushed back that comes from the west. Then he's moving forward to the east. Bit of quiet otherwise, I suppose, except for some lighter skirmish in the centre between Angreifen and Baoliang. Angreifen really wants that Tiger tank, and Baoliang obviously really wants that KV-2. But that said, Baoliang's definitely going to be getting out that KV-2 faster at this rate. In fact, he's just a minute away from the fuel being there, and he just needs a bit more manpower, and then call in the Clement Volishlov 2 heavy tank, pulling back the supply truck here. Starting to get a bit concerned about the safety of it. Not bad there. Thumbs up to Baoliang. Still, he's actually making use of it. So many players do go for doctrine that feature it, but then don't actually make use of it. Another pack 40 of Angreifen. Definitely signaling here he wants this sword for the Tiger tank versus Baoliang. Goes to that on the car farm right next to his base. Less fuel, but a bit more munitions instead as well. Comes quality by the heavy machine team on west. There we go. Quickly realising he can flank behind the machine gun. Baoliang charges his men forward. Thumbs up there. Feel them coming out the centre and the east side here. Skirmishing there is where things are a bit heavier there now. Second pack 40 almost done. Currently he's going to be a minute away there from the Tiger tank himself, but well, Baoliang's going to be a minute away as well there, mostly because of the manpower, whereas Angreifen's close to manpower, but it's short on fuel, so looks like both will have roughly at the same time the heavy tanks out against the other. Currently charging at the armoured car, which quickly tries to get out of there, but falls a bit too slow there and takes a damaged engine as a result. West here, kind of the east light machine versus the conscript with the light machine gun. And fresh air reconnaissance as the anti-aircraft tactic seems almost a bit of waste here by Angreifen. Almost not quite got it there. West here, a bit of light skirmishing. And there you go, down it goes. Shashing some sandbags and some squirrels in the process. Very close to the Tiger tank, and similarly very close to the KV-2 heavy tank. I'm going to put back the conscripts, pack 4 moving up, and these steadily advancing here. And there we go, Tiger tank available here at the 21-minute mark for Angreifen and Deutschland. We shall of course have to see how we leverage his here versus Baoliang, who's also now called in his KV-2 heavy tank. So that is 2 heavy tanks in the field here. Of course, Baoliang with his current resource income is much likely to be able to fill up the KV tank with more tanks, whereas with Angreifen, it's going to take him a while to get out anything else to support the Tiger tank versus the KV-2. Guys being hammered here by the 152mm gun in the east. Tiger tank's 88mm gun here versus the machine gun crew there. Getting some decent shots in there, but Daddy will finish it off here unless he gets very lucky, which, you know, admittedly could happen, but seems a bit unlikely. Getting some extra kills in the KV-2 going straight for the Tiger tank. Baoliang fearlessly goes out, the Tiger tank shoots back, gets a good hit on the KV-2, punches straight through the armour. Another hit there. Flipping those ready to assist here. Shot in Jumat to the field, and meanwhile he's doing a good job there. Tiger tank past the KV-2. That actually looks like a bounce. That's it. The actual Tiger tank will not bounce against the actual KV-2. Since the KV-2 by 1944-45 standards was not particularly heavy armoured. He's routed here. Tiger tank calls in dying repairs. You got more pioneers of Angreifen to assist with the repairs. Very good. Thumbs up. As for Baoliang, he could of course try and set up some repair stations to assist in repairing his tank. I think that could be a pretty good idea there. After being lightly damaged here by Angreifen in the centre of the pack's halt here, up being pushed back. Baoliang continues to maintain fairly good macro head versus Angreifen. Tiger tank there, in dying to repairs, would be a shame to lose there for Angreifen. And of course a great kill for Baoliang. Two being pushed back, the light machine guns of course providing a steady base of fire here versus Baoliang's infantry in the west here, constantly up. We got a big push into the west there, thumbs up to Baoliang, trying to stay fairly flexible here versus Angreifen. Very solid mindset, and we get here reconnaissance fight from Baoliang, showing that he too can watch from the skies. We get a mortar after action now from Angreifen. 250-7. Aircraft shot down. Going for this in fuel pond, very good. KV-2 holding up in the east. Holding up there, machines holding up there, bit of quality between the two. Angreifen of course trying to figure out the best optimal path here to push through Baoliang, and Baoliang of course wondering if he should make a push. He's just waiting for Angreifen to push because he's currently like favoured all 3 big 2 points. He's got most of the map. He's also got like a fairly strong position. That said, he's so extended, it's like a mistake here could allow Angreifen to do some serious damage by like just overwhelming isolated elements, but at the same time if Angreifen attacks too slowly, it could also, you know, work out well for Baoliang. So it's going to come down to like some speed and aggression here. We got air reconnaissance again, giving Angreifen I think a fairly good idea there of how Baoliang is dispositioned and where, you know, he can make the most effective attacks. Now the question of course is, does he realise this and actually make them? Further, the answer to that seems to be a 9. Shot fire there, mortar take holding that, of course, could use that to lay down a smoke screen before making an attack. Troops caught there. KV2 holding back, switching over to the siege mode, or what you want to call that. Contact back with the Tiger tank. Static mode, bombardment mode. Marching straight to there. Go insanely on pit rounds here from Baoliang in 7042. Thumbs up. Very strong ability when used correctly. And there you go. The mortar attack lands a nice hit there, killing 2 of the gunners. Almost wipes out the entire machine crew there, but 2 men are able to haul themselves to safety, leaving their dying comrades behind in the dirt. KV2 moves ahead, shoots and whiffs. Got 1 kill on it. Tiger tank with 5 kills. Packs flying where the KV2 misses. Katyusha rocket launch here for Baoliang. No, this is 6 was actually the basis, I believe, for the Katyusha strike. Well, the one we see in the game here. Note there were numerous versions of the Katyusha, and they actually used different trucks. In fact, some used the American Studebaker truck as their platform there. It's a little fun fact. KV2 rushing east side here, catching the Pioneers, pack flying away there. Some going through, others not so much, but there you go. Pretty much the same truck there. Finishes the conscripts, got a mortar half tech flying away still, 3 kills, close veterancy 1. Fixing up the KV2 there. And the west we got coming up here, threatening the western fuel point once more. Baoliang very consistent with this harassing of Angreifen fuel, as Angreifen has been consistently harassing Baoliang's resources. Using rifle grenade here, pack fire, artillery fire there on the pack 40s. Field gun fire. Car dodging away there. But at this point he's just using his spotter for his own tank guns and whatnot. Got the field crew there, go KV2 strikes, pack crew there, getting absolutely mauled, and we got the contact catching here. Angreifen in a really bad position without the anti-tank, and it's going to be much tougher for him to deal with most of what Baoliang has there. Plus if Baoliang grabs the packs, turns against Angreifen, that can make things fairly uncomfortable for the Tiger tank. So, bit of a double danger situation here for Angreifen versus Baoliang, but there he almost blows apart his own pack crew there, it seems. Tiger tank rushing forwards, armored car taking head here, mines down there, spotted by the way. Almost got the conscripts, fielding the crew once more. Smoke deployed, but not enough to save the armoured car. Angreifen there, floundering a bit here. Both packs, of course, cleared out, and Baoliang's making a run for the pack 40 to grab it and turn it against the Germans, perhaps? No. Oh, where is he? Yep, he's going to grab it. Thumbs up there. Baoliang will need some significant firepower to have a chance. A Sturmgeschütz 3 ausführen geht crucial. Of course, we'll also go for the Panther 4. But he definitely needs more than just the Tiger tank here versus Baoliang. There you go, good shot. Pack on the front and KV2 immediately. Pack fires at the Tiger tank, bounces off the 100mm thick frontal armour. Comes from the centre being hammered here. We got more fire there. Mortar half tack with 4 kills, veterancy 1. Guessing he's going to try and snuff out the pack through there. Get it by the pack 40 on the KV2, but there you go. Exterminator with the KV2, 6 kills on it. 9 kills on the Tiger tank. Got 304 versus 274. Despite the imposing presence of the Tiger tank, Baoliang stands firm in defense of the motherland. Constantly being mauled up on heavy machine gun fire. There you go. Constantly flaying up the ace level. But the Tiger tank is providing coverage here, making it very difficult for Baoliang, I think, to close in the machine gun without taking a lot of damage. We got 300 versus 274. Going to be sitting up the eastern side. He still needs more armor. I'm guessing he's planning a Panther 4 here. Or I suppose he could be thinking get away with going for tier 4 and try and go for something like a Panther here versus Baoliang. But there you go. Machine crew there being handled with the Katyusha rocket launcher. And close one there. Comes right from the western point. We got 294 to 274. Only a 20-point difference. Well, less than 20-point difference now. Fresh Pioneer squad ready here for Baoliang. Not for Baoliang, I mean Angreifen. I mean, for Baoliang to kill, obviously, I could have finished it like that, but this truck consumes bright resource here for Baoliang. He's getting about a lot of munitions, but not a lot to use it on. He could lay down more mines, he could use some recon overflights. I mean, that could be some pretty good ideas there. Quick shot there, but they're going to flank by the counter. They're going, hoorah! We're going to probably see an anti-tank grenade here to disable the engine, at least make it easy to hunt down. East side here, we got gunners, we got the eastern victory point. Very nice there. Mortar attack there. Close to veteran 2, 9 kills. Sehr good. Still no armor here from Angreifen, besides that Tiger tank. Starting to get a bit dangerous there. As for Baoliang, he could actually push for tanks himself. Like, you can go for like a KV-8 there. No, he can't actually. I think go for the T-34 from 6. Oh, yeah, he can just narrowly go for that, though nothing else. Well, never mind, he's not suffered losses enough to allow that. But yeah, some more tanks have been great here for Baoliang. Panther will find a way to Angreifen plus another Grenadier squad as infantry losses continue to mount in the face of the Soviets. Great hit from the KV-2 and the Grenadiers. Targeting advance, we've got 21 kills. Oh, 22 actually, almost 22 there. 25, almost got the machine crew there. That'd be great for him. We could finish it off, but it gets away. Really close call there, though. East side, their opponent's being seized. West side, Baoliang works forward, applies pressure to Angreifen, who continues to think to focus a bit too much in the centre and not enough, you know, in the west and east, particularly on the resources. Bit dangerous, I think, there for Angreifen. Great there for Baoliang. Since the centre has just basically one big bottleneck. If a player like, you know, Angreifen is very much decides to like focus there, it's definitely a great advantage for Baoliang. Pack crew there wiped out. Further losses being inflicted on the Germans by Baoliang. And the Red Army charges ahead here, Mortar attack in trouble. Diving out of there before the KV-2 knocks it out. We got the Panther around the flank, but against the KV-2, the Panther will fall a bit short. Fielding recruit here by Panther, pass off from the KV-2, shots bouncing though. Also off the Panther 4's armour, Tiger tank holding back to reserve, heavily damaged though. Sense fun here as Baoliang just tries to leverage his advantage as much as possible as Angreifen and the Germans pushing ahead, punishing ahead here against the Germans, the fascists, leaving many Grenadiers dead in the wake. Tiger tank being fixed up. 6 kills, almost ace on that anti-aircraft tower tank. We got the Panther 4 here going for a possible deep dive despite being in such a poor condition. He thinks he can get rid of the Katyusha and the half tank. He might have a shot, plus he can get rid of the 6, that could also help him. Still pretty risky dive, and there you go. Baoliang there, spotsman gets too close to the point here, but he might be able to take out the supply truck at least. Or not. Ooh, terrible station, there goes the West Web, but there you go. Gets the supply truck at least. A tiny win there for Angreifen. A tiny win, but he needs to destroy tanks, not supply trucks, long run to really win this. Got 197, that's 274. Choose pushing ahead here. KV-2 holding back. East side of the Grenadiers in Pack 40, pushing it back. Ooh, not touch with planning over the Tiger tank. But he's exposed to the rear to the KV-2, gaining better too in the process, though increasing the range and accuracy of the Tiger tank, which is always handy dandy. But he's taking a lot of firepower in the Tiger tank, and there we go, down a half health already. KV-2 is also now Veterancy 2 there with 18 kills. More Tiger needs to be careful as well here. In fact, most of Angreifen forces need to be careful. Tiger tank almost knocked out. Panther 4 needed repairs, put back to the base here. Tiger tank, well, obviously needs repairs too. Grenadiers with a half tank there, it's going to be a one-side engagement there. The Grenadiers do not stand a chance against the crap over there, as it turns them into minced meat. Machine heading up there. Fixing up the Panzer campfire, fears the Tiger tank being held back. 14 kills in the mortar traffic. I mean, that's been a fairly good investment here for Angreifen. If anything, they should want to go on for it sooner. Now you can choose to the base here. Infantry at risk, in particular the Pioneers here, would be a huge blow to Angreifen to lose those, for sure. That would be an instant DD, I think, at this stage. KV-2 still rolling ahead here for Baoliang. You could also just build a bunch of repair stations with all the munitions you currently got. I think that would be a fairly sneaky idea as well for Baoliang to consider. And now the KV-2 is going up for the rear of the machine team. There go more tech caught as well. Shot whiffs though, and the machine gun just gets the hell out of there. No chance in hell against the KV-2 like that. Head for up the conscript. Pioneers going for the Tiger tank here. Pushing east, but we still have the anti-aircraft target there. Still on watch. And the Grenadiers are going to get turned into shreds. More tactic fire continuing with rain down there. We got 15 kills. Air reconnaissance again here as Angreifen is looking for some sort of solution. Some sort of opening in spot in the high track just immediately knocks out the air reconnaissance, leaving Angreifen effectively blind and short 60 munitions for that one. 155 is 274. Prince being hammered here. close to his level there on that mortar half track. Tiger tank once more rolling out for Deutschland. Meanwhile, Baoliang's steel behemoth there rolls forwards ever steadily on the hunt. And there you go, mortar half track caught and shattered. A single hit from the 152mm gun there just blows it apart. Brutal. Did you see that, Panther? Yes, it went off like fireworks. Except Germans died. Yeah. That's a plus. Shot fired there, bounced off the Tiger's armor. CoH2 moving forwards. Nice hit there, down to less than half health. Pack crew exterminated by the Tiger tank, and it's ace gunnery. CoH2 though is in hot pursuit here, almost ace on that tank there. And there you go, gunny's being suppressed by the M42, ace on that crew there as well. Excellent steal there for Baoliang. Tiger tank shooting at the advancing conscripts, and we got another Pack 40 out here, but I think needs more armor here versus Baoliang. And he obviously needs a lot more of everything. Panther on the east here in trouble as well there, being pursued by infantry. Taking a lot of damage. Katyusha firing down to the base as well here. Casualties piling up here for Angreifen. The men are dying in numbers faster than can replace them. CoH2 going for the Tiger tank. I think that's going to be a kill here, unless he gets very lucky. And he didn't. Tiger tank kaput, and with that, Angreifen is very much dead in the water here, unable to go anywhere. And Baoliang now holds most of the map, most of the victory points, and he certainly holds the advantage in tanks, infantry, and artillery. So that is very much game over. Angreifen seems a bit shocked here, stunned by the sheer rapidity of Baoliang's advance. Almost ace on that KV2, and there you go, drops out. GG, game over. Victory here for the Red Army, a loss for Germany. Again, I think the real issue was partly just the Tiger Sword strategy did there, but also he focused too much in the centre, not enough manoeuvre. Should have gone for some artillery, particularly on the map like crossing, which he kind of wanted to at some point. And I think had he gone for that mortar attack sooner, he would have been in a much better spot. Plus some Panther grenades, I think, would also been helpful. But there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. I hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it, tell friends, tell family, but don't tell enemies. Listen, pearlings and cheers. Thank you for watching. Until tomorrow again for another episode. Bye.